So we'll need our blocks or low footstool, because we will be, hopefully, if my plan goes smoothly, we'll have Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. And so so a hand often comes to the earth, or your block or your footstool. So however you raise the earth towards you, whether it's something that you reach out like the wall or your furniture, it's all good. So let's come into our easy pose, easy seated Sukhasana. And take a few moments here to center on your mat. And let's come with Anjali Mudra here. So Anjali Mudra is when we have the tips of the palms, the tips of the fingers and the edges of the palm, but there's a slight gap there. So you'll have a slight gap there, almost as if you're creating a bud. So Namaskar is when palms are firmly pressed together. So this is Namaskar. Let me hold it there. And then Anjali is when they're sort of softly parted, the palms. That's Anjali at the heart. Closing our eyes. Perhaps softening our gaze if we feel that we want to retain a sense of connection with the world just for the moment, for security. And begin to observe your breath, the in and out, the ebb and flow of your breath. Noticing the way your breath flows in joyfully and flows out with ease. Our practice today, again, we're continuing with International Women's Day theme for the 8th of March. And so today we're going to connect with the bold, vibrant, joyful energy. We're going to embrace that uplifting energy, the innate joy, the radiance, the way that we can ignite this sense of woman, whether we identify as woman or whether we have women in our lives whom we admire, love, respect. Honor. So bring a gentle smile to your mouth. Lift the corners of your mouth. Relax your brow. Soften your eyelids, your cheekbones, your jaw. Soften through your body. The sense of flow, relaxation flowing throughout your body. One more full breath here. Fill your heart space with joyful breath. And then let's exhale through open mouth. Prepare to chant Om 3 times, inhaling fully for each Om. And dedicate each Om to woman in your life, your role models, those with whom you have a relationship. Our immediate circle, our family circle, our friends circle, our professional circle. Inhale fully. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. hands to your eyebrow center in Namaskar. Namaste. Welcome, yogis. Welcome to this morning's practice. So our practice today is going to be full of joy, uplifting energy. And we're going to do a breath of joy. So we'll do it twice today. We'll do one when we're seated and one when we're standing. So I'm going to introduce this breath of joy if we've not practiced it before. So this is a 3-part breath. And we're going to focus on the lungs here. So find the bottom of your lungs here. So really where your ribs begin to meet. So this is where our lungs are. So that's the bottom part of your lungs, then your middle part of your lungs, and then your upper part of your lungs. So we're going to breathe in. So we keep the breath and we move this breath 3 times. So into the bottom, middle, and upper lungs. And then out. So that in breath is in 3 parts. So visualize that breath. So it comes into the bottom part of your lungs, middle, upper. So you'll notice that you take this breath in 3 parts. And then you're full, really full and expansive with breath. And then exhale. So it'll be a big exhale. So you're exhaling all of the breath that's filling your lungs. But we're going to also bring in arm movements. So this is why it gets a little bit challenging. But we'll practice it while we're sitting down so that we have a bit more of a flow. So when we breathe into the bottom part of the lungs, we bring our arms up here, parallel to the earth. Take it to the middle, arms out to the side. Take it to the top, reach up, all the way up. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down. So let's practice that once or twice, and then we'll take the full breath. And then we'll do this when we're standing later on. So inhale to the bottom part of your lungs. Out, up. So now here, where your hands are up around here, your breath should be feeling really full. In. So you're going in, exhale. Right, are we ready? Let's give it a go. And don't worry if your breath just doesn't flow naturally here, because this is a new type of pranayama that we're learning, and it will take time for us to practice. So we're going to start here. So we see we're doing it quite staggered, but as we practice this breath, it will become more smooth. So you can notice how your breath arms will flow more smoothly. So I won't be stopping at each point. You just flow through this movement and then you come down. So that's where we're going to get to when we practice this breath more. Initially, it feels like stagger, 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 and then out. But when we practice it, that stagger won't be in 3 parts. It'll feel much smoother. And often if you visualize it in your mind's eye, the breath filling your lungs, then you can flow with it more smoothly. So this is the breath of joy, and we'll practice it when we're standing up, and it will be easier when we're standing up. I just wanted to introduce it here to you. Okay, so remember, it's so you bring your arms up for that first part of the breath, arms out, up, up, and then out. Bravo. We'll go with it in a little while. So let's bring the soles of our feet together. If you're sitting on your blanket or block, remove that now, but a Tadasana. So soles of your feet together, creating this expansive space here. Our mantra for today is Anando Hum. Anando Hum. I am joy. I am bliss. I am this uplifting energy. Anando Hum. So you can inhale Anando, exhale Hum. Soles of your feet together. Take a moment here, lengthen through your spine, lifting up, opening your heart space. Perhaps you draw your shoulder blades together so that your heart space is really open. Let's take a moment here. Inhaling Anando, exhaling Hum. Silently on the breath. Anando Hum. I am joy. I am radiance. I am bliss. And then let's bring the left palm to the earth. Reach up and over with the right arm. And let's bring our, trying to figure out which one I want to do. Let's fold in our ring finger and take the thumb to the knuckle. So we'll do Surya Mudra for this part. Inhale through center, over to the right. So fold in the ring finger, take the thumb to the ring finger knuckle, extend your other 3 fingers. Let's go twice more in each direction. And perhaps you visualize a rainbow here. And talking about rainbow, I don't want to bring a downer, but this 1% uplift in the wages of nurses who've been fighting COVID for 10 months is disgraceful. So please do, if you're UK based, let your local MP know that's not good enough. They've worked incredibly long hours, risked their lives, given up family life in many ways. Many moved out into hotels so that they wouldn't put their families at risk. So let's fight for the nurses. Remember, we love the NHS. So coming back to center, take a moment here. Now from here, making sure you've got lots of space behind you. Let's place our hands behind us, palms face down, fingers towards you. And we're going to bring out our feet, keep those knees bent, and then inhale, lift up into reverse table, Purvottanasana, Purvottanasana. Now your chin can be tucked like me because I don't like to put any extra pressure on my upper neck, or you can lift your gaze so that it's looking up towards the sky. So yogi's choice, or you can, some people allow their head to drop back, but I'm not comfortable with that for myself, and I don't always recommend it. One more breath here, come down, sit, bring the soles of your feet together, Baddha, and exhale, fold forward, fingers reaching away from your body. Inhale, reach up. Again, let's place our hands behind our back, turn out our feet. Inhale to lift up one more time. Keep pushing your hips and pelvis so your body is parallel to the earth. Your chin can be tucked here. I like this Jalandhar lock here, lock at the throat. Exhale. Again, let's bring the soles of the feet together. This time, let's take hold of our feet and soften our crown down towards the feet. Fingers are interlaced around our toes or on our shins. One breath here. Inhale to rise up. And I'll turn and face you so you can see me again. This time, let's reach up. As you exhale, take your hands over to the right. My left hand is on my right knee. My right hand is behind me. I'm gazing over my shoulder here. So seated twist with butterfly here. So your knees can be quite high up, or you can have them lower down, yogi's choice. Inhale, turn to center. Exhale the other way. Anando Hum. I am joy, I am bliss. One more breath. Inhale to center. Let's swing our legs around, come onto our knees into table, Varmanasana, and we'll do cat-cow here. Let's do 3 rounds. Inhale, lift your tailbone, dip your lower back, shine your heart, lift your gaze. Madhyasana. Exhale to round through your back, tucking your chin. Vitlayasana, cow pose. 3 breaths here. Inhaling to shine and lift your heart. Exhaling to tuck in your chin. Allow the breath to flow the full length of your spine. And last one here. Back to neutral. Take a moment here. So what we're going to do from here is step forward with the right foot. Really drop down here into Anjali low crescent. So sink into that right hip. This is also known as Chatakasana, depending on which school of yoga you come from. One breath here. Let's sit all the way back, coming into Ardha Hanumanasana. So roll onto your right heel, toes pointing up. Fingers can stay on the earth. If your fingers are some distance from the earth, remember you can use your blocks here. And then let's roll back onto that right foot. Swing that left leg round the back. So swing that left foot. And let's extend this right leg long. Maintain the connection with the earth. So we're coming into gate pose, Parigasana. Take a moment here. Right hand on your right leg. Inhale, reach up and over with your left arm. And again, you can bring your thumb to the ring finger knuckle in Surya Mudra, the sun seal, the joy, the vibrancy, the radiance of the sun, connecting with that energy here. Your breath during your practice could be Ujjayi breath, victory breath, the ocean sounding breath, through that constriction at the back of the throat, in and out through your nose, making that deep breathing sound at the back of your throat. Exhale, bring your left fingertips to the earth or a block here. And then inhale, lift your right leg, reach up long with your right fingers. So right leg is parallel. If that feels too intense, you can leave that right foot on the earth. So yogi's choice. This is Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Exhale, lower that leg, come back up, arms parallel. Take a moment here. And then let's bring your hands together in Anjali. So remember, Anjali is that mudra where you have a slight, let me sort my hair out. Can't see my face, can you? Anjali is that mudra where your fingertips are together, but your palms are gently parted, as if this is the beginning of a bud that's about to flower. And then this we can open up directly into Padma, Lotus. So Anjali to Padma, this bud to the Lotus. Inhale, let's reach above our crown with our Lotus, our Padma. And let's do this Lotus prayer wheel back to the heart. So the prayer wheel through Lotus is bud at the heart. Then we open it up, reach all the way up, and then we prayer wheel. So your fingers, your thumb and index join. You cartwheel your hands through Lotus into Anjali. Take a moment there. Let's bend into this right knee. You might need to slide this knee down a bit. So turn that right leg out. So we're going to come into this here. Now you can either reach really into that right hip, or you can be a little bit more upright. So see what feels comfortable for you here. One more breath. Turn out that left foot again. Shuffle that right foot all the way across your mat, and we're going to come into lizard pose, Uttan Pristhasana, or dragon pose as you may know it. Your hands are on the earth, or you are invited to bring your forearms onto a blocks, onto a bolster, or directly onto the earth, so that we come into lizard pose here, dragon, low flying dragon, also known as. So you can be on your hands. You can have a bolster underneath your hands. You can come onto your forearms. You can also have a bolster or a footstool under your forearms. Roll out onto that right foot and turn that right knee out. If that does not feel comfortable for your right hip, then keep the right foot connected and that right knee in closer to your body. This is the winged dragon variation. One more full breath here. And here, I really invite you to connect with the Ujjayi breath. You can hear my breath sounds quite loud, like Darth Vader breathing. And all the breath is at the back of the throat and it's coming in and out through my nose. One more breath. Come onto your hands if you're on your forearms. Shuffle your right foot in. And then let's bring it back into Padmasana. And here, shake out your hips from left to right. Turn to gaze to your left hip. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Take a moment here and we're going to step forward with our left foot. Coming into low lunge here. Sinking into that left hip now. Fingertips on the earth or on blocks. Exhale, roll back onto that heel of the left foot, Ardha Hanumanasana. Half splits pose, reaching back with your sit bones. Fingers on the earth or on blocks. One more breath here. So now we're going to swing this right leg back. Right foot back, straighten out through that left leg. So we come into gate pose. So I'm going to turn around and face you. So where you can see me. So that right foot is behind you now. You're on your right knee. Your left leg is extended. Slide your left hand down, your left leg, and reach up and over with your right arm. Tadasana, gate pose. Inhale. Let's bring the right hand down to the earth and lift the left leg. I can stay on the earth or you can lift it parallel to the earth. Ardha Chandrasana variation. Flex that left foot. And then bring that left foot back. Come up to center, arms parallel. Bring your hands to your heart in Anjali. Open out in Padma, Anando Hum, reach above your crown. And then prayer wheel back to your heart. Into the Anjali. Open into Padma, reach up. Exhale, prayer wheel back to your heart. Take a moment here. Now we're going to move into bending that left knee now. So remember, you can slide that foot close to you so it's less of an extension, or you can really sink into that left hip here. Check out how your right knee feels. You might want to pad it or come a little bit more upright. And if you come a little bit more upright, it's less intense in all of your joints. So you're more like the letter H. One more breath here. And then we're going to spin our right foot back. Shuffle this left foot all the way across our mat. Bring the left hand to the inside of our left foot. And we're going to move into lizard pose or dragon pose, as it's alternatively known, Uttan Pristhasana. So you can stay on your hands. Remember, your hands can be on blocks, or you can come down onto your forearms. Turn out your left foot onto the little toe side and wing out your left knee if you so wish. These are options for you. Remember, we can be wherever we feel as if we're in that sort of edge where we meet our edge, but there is still a sense of comfort here. We're finding joy in our body today, not pain or discomfort. Challenge is okay. Edge is okay. Discomfort, unease is not. I invite you to connect with your Ujjayi breath, victory breath. Anando Hum. I am joy, I am bliss, I am radiant. I embrace the fullness, the richness of life in my womanhood, in all aspects of myself that I have inherited from the qualities of women around me. My role models, those who inspire me, those whom I aspire to be like. All of the energy of others around us shape who we are. Their energy interacts with our energy interacts with them. One more breath here, joyful woman. And remember, we have aspects of all within us. We are neither exclusively feminine nor exclusively masculine. We are a spectrum. Some of us may identify more with one than with the other. Some of us have real awareness of how these merge in us. One more breath. Inhale to rise up onto your knees. Let's take this left foot back. And again, shake it out. Let's circle our hips one way. And then the other way. You might go all the way down towards your seat. And then when you're ready, I like to do this figure of 8 with my body. It feels really loosening and freeing for the spine, liberates the spine. And now we're going to move into our mountain pose. Inhale, lift your knees. Keep a deep bend in your knees. And so that your spine feels long and elongated here. And then perhaps when you feel comfortable, let's bring the heel down towards the earth, pedaling here, cycling here to free the hips. And then when you're ready, let's come to stillness just for a moment. Take a full breath. And let's walk our hands back towards our feet. So we come into a forward fold here. Take hold of opposite elbows. Have a bend in your knees so that your belly is resting on your thighs. And let's sway our upper body, arms and elbows from left to right, right to left. And then come in stillness. And feel your spine to rise up, one vertebrae at a time. So from forward fold here, releasing your elbows, uncurling your spine, one vertebrae at a time to rise up. And you'll probably be at the back of your mat here, so you can stay here or come to the center of your mat. It matters not. Now we're going to practice that breath of joy. So you'll find it's much easier now when you're standing. So come into your Tadasana. So your feet are a hip distance wide where you feel stable. And then let's just rock backwards and forwards from our heels to the balls of our feet and toes so that we really feel connected through our feet, so that we have this steady, stable foundation. Soft bend in your knees. So remember, breath of joy, 3-part breath, lower lungs, middle lungs, upper lungs. In, and then out. And we bring in, we invite some arm movements here. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale, 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 exhale. So when you exhale and you fall forward, the momentum swings you back up here to this point where your arms are parallel to the earth. So this is the point where we begin to take our breath in, out, up, exhale. So in, and it really matters not if your arms aren't in the exact pattern, but what you see you're doing is you're swinging your arms up and out and down. If you close your eyes and focus on your breath and focus on the momentum of your movement of your arms with your breath. Closing your eyes helps you tune into your breath and what's happening with your breath and that sensation that you're experiencing with your body. When you have your eyes open in breath of joy, the world can feel a little bit spinny around you. So we want to avoid that sense of spinny world around us, but we want to experience this joy. So the momentum of when you reach this pinnacle here and exhale, that real swooshing sense of feeling. Oh, I love it. Wherever you are, go for it one more time. And if you just keep practicing this breath, I mean, the joyfulness, the sense of uplift you feel from this, the pran, the energy that you take in here is amazing. I feel so free and liberated and joyful when I practice this breath. But be careful, especially if you're Vata. So remember our doshas. Vata, those of us who are a little bit in our head and get a little bit like anxious or frantic, then this breath will just build more pran and gives you more vayu, more of that energy, more of that air energy, which you don't want too much of that. So I take it easy, Vatas. So you might want to open your eyes now because you will feel a little bit lightheaded, and just focus on a point on your horizon, your drishti, something that won't move. So you might notice that your throat feels a little bit dry here. So if you wish to take a drink, please take a drink. Often people say don't drink during your practice. But if your throat is dry, then hydrate your body. That's your body telling you it needs something. Standing here for a moment or two. Perhaps you bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. So you'll notice how your breath is beginning to come back into equanimity, back into balance. That breathlessness that came from breath of joy is returning back to its natural rhythm. So if you are in the middle of your mat, come and step to the back of your mat, facing the full length of your mat. Inhale, let's reach up above our crown with our Padma Mudra. Cartwheel your hands in prayer wheel back to the heart in Padma and then Anjali. Just a moment to reconnect with our body. So you'll notice that perhaps the fluidity of this flow, it's less, this is one of the sequences that are less clinical, less rigid in the planning. Because it's really about feeling the joy and feeling what your body needs. So this practice invites in so much variation and doing whatever you need. So you may be standing and swaying. You may be circling your hips. It's not about standing here rigidly in like Tadasana. It's about being here with your body and feeling the joy, the beauty, the grace, the elegance of your own body, because we embody that. We're going to step forward long with our right foot. And as we do that, we come onto the ball of our left foot. So from here, we're going to step forward and we come onto the ball of our left foot. And stay on the ball of that left foot for the moment. And the right foot is fully planted. Here, let's reach up above our heads. Standing tall here. As you exhale, roll back onto the heel of your foot. And you might lose your balance here, like I did. And that's okay. It'll take a few moments for us to get used to this. And we want to really be flowing onto the ball of the left foot and then reaching back and then lifting the toe. And you might need to, so I think I have my stance too wide. So you might have to have a narrower stance, sort of close together. Yeah, that feels better. So that we can just gently rock backwards and forwards on our feet. Your arms can reach up, or as always, you can keep your hands on your hips at your heart. One more time here. And then now we can take a wider stance. So we're going to come into high lunge. So bend into that right knee. And if you want to swivel that left foot back, you can do. Hands can be on hips, hands at the heart. In Anjali, or arms reaching up, Surya Mudra. From here, we're going to rise and fall. And then now I need you to be really mindful of what happens with your left knee. Be aware of your left knee. We're going to come down towards the earth. If you want to place a blanket on the earth so that left knee comes onto a blanket, do that. Arms reaching up here in high lunge. As we exhale, let's bring into sunbeam arms, and that left knee can come to the earth. You really need to engage your core, press down through the right foot, and be very mindful what's happening with this left knee. So we rise up. So you need to be really stable with this right foot. Exhale, lower. Arms in sunbeam. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, lower. Inhale to reach up. So you're working quite hard here, and you can even straighten through that right leg all the way if you wish. And then as you exhale, bend into your arms, bend into your knees. And I think we've been at this ball 3 times. We're going to do it. One more time. So we're going to rise all the way up. Take a moment here. Turn your body, drop that left foot onto the earth. And we're going to move into Warrior 1 pose. Warrior 2 pose rather, Mahavira Vajrasana. So from here, high lunge. We drop that left heel and we open out our arms. And your right thigh will be feeling it. Your left thigh will be feeling it. You've done a lot of work here. Take a moment here. We're not too long. Straighten through that right leg. Turn the toes. Open out into Tadasana, star pose. Take a moment here. Now, who fancies doing breath of joy here in star pose? You don't have to. If you want to, give it a go. We won't do many, we'll do it 3 times. Open out your arms. Right, so let's inhale, exhale. Then come out, back into star pose. I love that. Right. Anando Hum, I am joy, I am bliss, I am radiance. Bend into your knees. Goddess pose, Devyasana, hands at the heart in Anjali. Take a moment here. Just make sure I'm steady You know, my leggings are confusing me. They got all these little patterns on them, and I'm not quite sure where my knees are. Take a moment here. We'll open out into Padma, Anando Hum, reach above your crown, and then prayer wheel back to the heart through Padma and Anjali. Take another moment here, and now we're going to go in the other direction. So let's straighten through the legs. Turn your left foot out. Turn your right foot in. Bend into that left knee. Let's come into Warrior Mahaviradrasana. Take a moment here. Turn onto the ball of that right foot. So we come into high lunge, left knee is bent. So you might have to adjust yourself here. Here we go in high lunge. Hands can be on your hips or in Anjali at the heart, or you can reach up. Yogi's choice. Exhaling, let's lower and open out our arms into sunbeam arms. So these are sunbeam arms here. Inhale, reach up, and perhaps you straighten through that left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. I'm going to do this 3 times. You can see I'm moving slowly, so I'm in no rush to go anywhere. And then straighten through your leg and let's stay up here. So remember, your stance is probably going to be quite wide here. So what we want to do is narrow our stance. So you could do it by stepping forward with your right foot or step back with your left foot. See whatever feels comfortable for you. So remember now here, find your balance. Maybe you gaze at something in the horizon, that's not going to move. Your hands can stay in your hips, hands in Anjali, or your arms can reach up above your head. So we're going to roll backwards and forwards here. Find your balance. So again, check your stance. And then you'll find that perfect point of balance for yourself. And let's roll backwards and forwards here. Standing tall. And we're moving slowly, really connecting with our foundation here. Core is engaged. Your Mula Bandh, Uddiyana Bandh are engaged here. So you're squeezing at the pelvis. You're hugging in the ribs to the midline. And if you wobble, not to worry. And then coming to the last one, take a moment here. Let's keep that right foot lifted actually. One more breath. And now we're going to step back with that left foot. So this is going to be a bit tricky. So bend into that knee and step back. Back into Tadasana. And if you take 1 or 2 steps, that's fine. So now you should be at the top of your mat. Take a moment here. I am literally radiating. You know when they say the women don't sweat, but we glow? I don't know, I'm glowing pretty hard here. One breath here. Take a moment. Inhale, reach your arms above your head. Exhale to bend your knees, fold forward into Uttanasana. And take hold of opposite elbows here. Perhaps you sway from left to right. Again, you can use Ujjayi here. You're using Ujjayi breath as you sway from left to right, right to left. Let's bring your hands down towards the earth. Take your feet wide. So probably as wide as your mat or a little bit wider. We're going to come down to the earth in Malasana. So this is usually yogi squat. Sometimes it's called garland pose, mala. So let's think of Malasa, let's think of garland today, because that's a nicer way of thinking. Remember here your variations and your options, your choices. You come directly to the earth with your sit bones and have your feet on the earth. You sit on a low footstool, you sit on your blocks or bolster, yogi's choice. Hands in Anjali at the heart. Take a moment here. Let's take our hands above our crown in Padma, Lotus, and then cartwheel back to the heart. And then let's release down to the earth all together. Hug in your knees. Bring your eyebrow center to rest here. So we have really been working around our hips and thighs today. So I don't think about where you're feeling it. So I'm feeling it on the inside of my hip flexors here today. So that's why it's nice to really hug everything in. Lower down to the earth. Just make sure you have enough space behind you. Exhale, rolling through your spine. And then when you come down to the earth, let's hug in the right knee. Cross the right ankle on the left knee. And let's hug in that leg, the left leg rather. So your right knee is turning out, your right ankle is on your left thigh, or just below the knee. You can reach your arms through and hug your left shin. We can have it at the back. Your thigh, yogi's choice. One more breath here. Now release your hands and we're going to drop our knees in this figure of four shape that they are over to the right. So that we come into an open twist here. If this does not feel at all comfortable for you, remember you can place a bolster underneath your right knee here so that your right knee can be supported. You can have it on here, like if I've got the wall handy, I'll just place my knee on the wall. So it's less intense. So the closer that right knee to the earth, it won't connect with the earth because remember you've got your left leg there, the more intense it will feel. But you can have your right knee on the wall, on a footstool, on a bolster. And your hands here, where you can rest them on your abdomen, your heart, reach overhead. Yogi's choice. I'm going to reach them overhead so that my heart is open. My left shoulder is connected with the earth here. Gazing up towards the sky. We're not here for long. Anando Hum. Thinking of woman in her bliss, her joy, her radiance, her boldness, her fierceness. And knowing that we have no right to crush, oppress, limit, contain, suppress that brightness, that boldness, that illumination. That if anything, we should allow it. We should allow the space, the liberation, the freedom without judgment, with full acceptance. That there is no need for envy or jealousy. There's no need to control or have power over that beauty, that radiance, that bliss, because it will enrich us and enlighten all of us, enrich all of us. One more breath here. Now with care, so if your arms are overhead, bring them down, and then gently bring your knees back to center so you can see how slowly I moved here. Uncross that right ankle. Take a moment, and then let's hug in that left knee. Cross that left ankle just below the right knee. This figure of four. Lift that right foot off the earth and your hands wrap around the back of your right thigh or your front of your right shin. turning that left knee out. This is also reclined pigeon, Supta Kapotasana. One more breath here, and then release our hands, and we're going to gently release that left knee down towards the earth. Again, we can have a bolster or something underneath that left knee. Abdomen above your head, yogi's choice. Woman who is bold of mind, bold of spirit, bold of heart, fearless of mind, fearless of spirit, fearless of heart, joyful of mind, joyful of spirit, joyful of heart. Anando Hum, Anando Hum, Anando Hum, Anando Hum. I am bliss. I am joy. I am radiance. Inhaling with care. Back to center. And cross that left knee. That left foot rather. Take a moment here. From here, we're going to move into Happy Baby, Ananda Balasana. So your options for Happy Baby are hands at the back of your thighs, feet up towards the sky. You can reach your arms between the legs and take hold of the outer edges of your feet. You can wrap your arms through the middle of your knees, then take your hands around the outside of your calves and take hold of your big toes with your peace fingers. So different variations here. Backs of thighs, outside of feet, through the middle, wrapping around the calves, outside of feet or big toes. You might find yourself just rolling gently here in your lower back, and that's okay. It's joyful baby, blissful baby, happy baby. One full breath here. And then let's release our hands, hugging our knees, gently roll from side to side. And we're not gonna have Shavasana today. So you can either roll to your side or roll up and down on your spine to come up to your seat, your Sukhasana. And if you want to sit on your cushion, your blanket, your folded blanket or your block, so do that. Hug your feet in towards you, lengthen through your spine. Let's bring our hands in Anjali to the heart center here. Open out your palms, your middle fingers, your little finger and thumb are still connected in Padma, Lotus, and then gaze down into your palms. And connect here with all that is joyful in woman. What is blissful about woman? What is radiant about woman? Our loved ones. So for me, this morning, so very aptly, I received this card with a rainbow and glitter on it from my niece. And on the inside, with 3 of these glowing stars. And the message reads, Dear Kalimasi, when it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. And then love from my niece. And this is what the joy of womanhood is. That always in these moments when we most need it, we can ignite and embrace that inner joy, inner light, inner radiance. That we can look to rainbows, the bold, brilliant rainbows above, the luminous, shining stars above. And that all expressions of woman are embraced. That woman is manifest in so many of us in different ways. And there is enough space under this glorious sky for all. Anando Hum. Closing your hands. Bringing them together in Namaskar, so now palms firmly pressed together. Closing our practice by chanting Anando Hum 3 times and then Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace to the woman in our lives that we most admire, love and respect and honor. To ourselves and our expression of that womanhood, our honoring of that womanhood. Inhaling fully to prepare. Anando Hum, Anando Hum, Anando Hum. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, Om, Om. Hands to your eyebrow center. Dhanyavad, Dhanyavad, Dhanyavad. Thank you, yogis, for joining me. Do check out my social media. Do check out Radicaldarshan. Radicaldarshan, the gift of collective freedom. That is a circle of my sisters. We have created our own offering of 300 hours yoga teacher training. And we've launched it. So please do find out about it more. Women as leaders, as people who create the table, as women who are forging the way ahead. So thank you so much for all your support. I will see you next time. And I think we'll do one more class dedicated to us.